Do you ever wonder what is intended for or likely to be understood by only a small number? The traditional beliefs, customs, and stories of a community. A community not part of the mainstream, unconventional, peripheral, or extreme. Part of an anthology, a published collection of poems or other pieces of writing. This is Esoteric Lore. I'm your host, Edward Aponte, where I push you to ponder the fringes of folklore. Welcome back to Esoteric Lore, where we journey through the hidden histories and living practices of human consciousness. Today we're going to ask a provocative question. What is the impact of drugs on the origin of mindfulness practices? At first, these two things, drugs and mindfulness, may seem like opposites. One is the external, chemical, and often sudden. The other is internal, cultivated and built slowly through discipline. But when we look deeper into history, philosophy, and science, we discover that the two have always been intertwined. So let's explore the story. Let's start at the beginning. Many ancient cultures turned to plants and substances to access states beyond ordinary awareness. In the Vedic world of India, for example, there was Soma, this mysterious ritual drink. Its ingredients still debated, was praised in the Rig Veda as a divine nectar that brought clarity, vision, and immortality. Elsewhere, shamanic cultures from the Amazon to the North American plains worked with ayahuasca, peyote, or mushrooms. These were not recreational substances, but sacred tools, gateways to altered perceptions, used in rituals and with intention. So in many ways, the earliest seeds of mindfulness were watered by psychoactive plants. They revealed to people that consciousness could shift, expand, dissolve, and reconnect with something greater. But something shifted as traditions like Buddhism and yoga began to take form around 500 BCE. The Buddha explicitly discouraged intoxication, saying they cloud the clarity of sati, mindfulness awareness. The yogis of India emphasized pranayama, breath control, dhyana, meditation, and samadhi, deep absorption. Here we see a philosophical pivot. The idea was, yes, you can open the door with substances, but can you train the mind to stay there without relying on anything external? Mindfulness as we know it today was born in this movement, away from externals towards the internal, a discipline of self-cultivation, a natural alchemy. Fast forward to the 20th century. psychedelics reemerged in the West. LSD, psilocybin, mescaline. Suddenly, mysticism is back on the table. Writers like Aldous Huxley spoke of the, quote, doors of perception. Timothy Leary told people to, quote, turn on, tune in, drop out. But then came another voice, Alan Watts, who said, drugs might show you the mountain, but you still have to climb. And later, John Kabat-Zinn built the modern mindfulness movement by emphasizing discipline, presence, and integration into everyday life. While contemporaries like Alan Watts and later John Kabat-Zinn emphasized that while drugs could open the door, mindfulness practices offered the tools to stay in the room. Now, neuroscience gives us a new lens. Both psychedelics and mindfulness meditation reduce activity in what's called the default mode network, the part of the brain tied to ego chatter, self-rumination, and endless inner narrator. Both can create a sense of ego dissolution, presence, and compassion. Both can give us a glimpse of unity. The difference? Drugs are episodic, unpredictable, and context-dependent. Mindfulness is gradual, trainable, and sustainable. It's like the difference between a lightning flash and a steady sunrise. So what's the impact of drugs on the origins of mindfulness? We could say this: they played the role of the catalyst. They showed ancient peoples that consciousness could shift, expand, and transcend. But the lasting traditions like Buddhism, yoga, Taoist meditation chose to build practices that didn't depend on substances. In that sense, mindfulness is the echo of those early experiments. It's the sustainable form of what began as ritual ecstasy. Drugs shaped the early ritual backdrop from which mindfulness arose. But the defining features of mindfulness practices, whether in Buddhism, yoga, or modern therapy, was the shift away from external substance towards internal cultivation. Modern science now shows the two paths touch similar neuropsychological terrain, but mindfulness offers a sustainable and ethical framework that drugs alone could not provide. The lesson here is not that drugs and mindfulness are enemies, nor are they identical. Instead, they are parallel paths in the human quest for awakening. One opens the door quickly, the other teaches us to live on the other side. And maybe that's the enduring wisdom. We can honor the spark of the ancients, but the deeper practice is about cultivating awareness from within. As always, I leave you with a poem. Between lightning and sunrise. In temples of fire they drank from the chalice of stars, roots and petals dissolving into chants. Visions rising like smoke, a fleeting crack in the sky. Soma, ayahuasca, and mushrooms song. Sacred doors flung open by leaves and stone. A glimpse of the infinite, a lightning flash that startled the heart awake. But the sages turned inward. They said, do not only touch the sky, learn to dwell within it. Breath became the new elixir. Silence, the steady flame. Discipline, the vessel that holds the ocean of mind. Now in our age of science and storms, we see the twin path intertwine. The sudden spark and the patient sunrise. Both dissolve the ego's restless mirror. Both whisper, you are more than the voice inside your head. So honor the spark, but walk with the sun. Mindfulness, born of ancient fire, teaches us not to just visit the light, but to live there with open eyes and steady breath. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, and give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. See you next time.